I have the self-confidence to go out there and do it, to be perfectly honest. Just like representation is so important, on screen. I think behind the camera also. See somebody my age that's, taking the responsibility of, however hundreds of millions of dollars this project is, it's inspiring. It's let me know that I can do that as well. And then he also, pushed me and told me there's never a perfect time, so just like suck it up and just go ahead and do it. You know what you're doing. So just to hearing that from him definitely pushed me to wanna get behind the camera a lot quicker. And I think as a human, sometimes you feel like you always gotta wait for the right time, what makes sense to you to actually start executing, to actually stop making excuses, to doing the things that you always really wanted to do. And I'm starting to find myself, and I'm guilty of that. And I'm starting to find myself now being like, nah, there is no right time to do anything. You just gotta start doing. It's easy to see the good stuff when it's successful, when it happens the right way, like the reward. But very rarely people really understand the lows, how lonely this industry is too, how much time you spend by yourself, and alone, and when things get bad, it could be a lonely place, man, and you gotta be a certain type of person, I think, to kind of handle that. I was on notable shows at the time that people knew who I was, or like, oh, that's the guy, did we go to school together, or yeah, you look familiar, like, who's that? Oh yeah, that's the guy from The Wire, or whatever, but that type of notability, doesn't really translate into financial stability. So,
what did you do?
Oh man, go for broke.
Yeah.
I was blessed enough to kind of after I got each job, that whatever that check was would last me enough to, where I would doubt and hope and get nervous and be like, oh man, I gotta move back to Jersey, and then I would book something, keep me there for a little bit longer. Right when I was getting ready to give up, it was always something that kept me there for a little bit longer. So yeah, man, it was tough, but in my head it was like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not just acting, it's what goes into becoming an actor. People see the end result, they see the lights, they see the premieres, they see the movies. They don't see the time that you put in by yourself. They don't see the lonely journey. They don't see the auditions that you go in when you hear, no, you're not this, you're not that. They don't see the moments where you're sleeping in your car. They don't see the moments where, you gotta go to 7-Eleven, dollar item this, dollar item that, You don't, when you gotta go into a gas station, swipe your card, get gas, and then hurry up and go inside a convenience store and try to get, some chips and, a frozen pizza or whatever before it says decline, because you get that much money in your account. Yeah. They don't see those moments. They don't see the, the moments you stay up all night, man, studying these lines, rehearsing, and then you go into an audition and you don't get it again and 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 again, but somehow you still have faith and believe that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So it's like, then when you do get successful, you do get some success, it's now you're getting ridiculed and judged, by everybody. Most of the time, your own people, they want to cannibalize you as much as possible. Oh, you're not this, you're not that, you're not this, you're not that, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. It's tough, it's tough. But to be able to take that kind of pain and rage and all those emotions that Eric kind of represents from being black and brown here in America, I was able to kind of put that, into a character and put it on screen. So that's something that I didn't take lightly, and I didn't have a process. I'm not like one of these, some people are methods or people are this or that. I just did whatever I felt I needed to do, or whatever I felt was right in the moment every step of the way. So there was no real plan. I didn't have an escape plan either. So every day was just going into this place, and I just tried to stay there as long as I could. And then when it was all over, I think just being in that kind of that mind state, that real unapologetic, just real whatever all the time, kind of kept it caught up with me, and I got a little depressed. It was tough for me for a minute,
Really?
Just readjusting to being around the people that care about me, getting that love that I shut out for a long time. I shut out love. I didn't want love and affection. I wanted to be in this lonely place as long as I could in order to kind of capture the essence of what Eric, Stevens was, what Killmonger was. So when we wrapped the film, I'm like, in my mind, I was like, okay, cool, go back to, regular life, get back to LA, be cool. But it was a little tough for me at first. Your mind is so powerful. Your mind will get your body past a threshold that it would have given up on way before. There were moments where physically I probably shouldn't have continued, but my mind was like, no, we're almost to the finish line. You got to get it past that. You got to get past that line. But as soon as I got past that line, my body said, okay, we can shut down now. And then it would shut down after that. So I think honestly, therapy, just talking to somebody was something that really helped me out a lot. And as a man, I think, we get a lot of slack for it of, I don't even talk to nobody, you know what I'm saying? That whole what it is to be a man, being masculine, that doesn't, I don't really subscribe to that because I feel like everybody needs to unpack and talk.
I kind of spoke into existence actually, because I was coming off a Chronicle, and I talked with my agent at the time. I told him, I said, look, I just want to do independent film. I want to just find something for me to show I can go. You know what I mean? I can go with the best of them. Because in my head, you got to have a confidence that you know that you can. I was 25. I was ready to. You start to smell yourself. I'm working out a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to kind of get in my big boy pants and show that I can try to carry a film. And actors, like say, we go on this journey from role to role and trying to find these moments where you can make something out of it and make it memorable and make it something that's going to get you your next job. And when the script kind of came along, it was perfect. What I wanted to do in my life and my career at the time, and what Ryan wanted to do in his life and his career at the time, just kind of seemed to mesh and kind of fall into place.
Trick yourself into believing you're doing what you're supposed to do. You almost have to having faith in yourself and having hope, having faith, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing is one thing, but you got to believe that this is your destiny and this is what you're supposed to be doing in life, if you really want it, and that's what I had to do. I always enjoy reverse engineering things. I always like seeing something all right, I know where I want to go. How do I get there? What's the creative? It was fun for me to find ways to get the things that I wanted.
Yeah, my thing is doing the homework. That's always been my thing. If I work harder than anybody else, I might not be the most talented guy, but I feel if I work harder than anybody else, they can't, they can't take that away from me. That's one thing I can control. I left it all in the room. I'm walking out, hands clean. And just move on to the next thing. It's the only way I can kind of disconnect myself from the audition, from the role, and just forget about it and move on. I don't mind going to hunt for my food. And I know there was one point in time where I really hated it, and then I started to become more confident, and I guess the small successes built up your confidence. And now then you don't really mind going to auditions anymore. It's just I'll go in and read. I think I always want to constantly evolve. I always want to constantly grow. I never want to get to a point where I feel like I got it figured out. I always want to kind of push myself to be better, and do greater things, no matter what it is. I want to be the best. I'm a competitor. I like to compete. Growing up with, the name Michael Jordan, I've always had a certain pressure on myself, and always having to kind of prove people wrong. And I just kind of put an instant chip on my shoulder of wanting to be great, and do great things.